Welcome to the DonorWise Learning Library. This session is on donation corrections when you want to change anything about a posted donation. Remember that there are 4 types of changes that you can make to a posted donation: a reversal, a correction, a refund, or reverse and start over. But of these 4, correction is by far the most common. A correction is used when you want to change something about the posted transaction, except for the accounting period or the total amount of the items. For these 2 things, you have to use reverse and start over. The most common corrections that are made is to correct an unknown donor to a known donor, or an unknown suspense designation to a desired designation. Often gifts will come in and you may not know the donor or the intended designation, particularly if you receive gifts through the bank and it just appears on your bank statement. In these cases, you want to post the contribution as quickly as possible and then make the correction later, rather than hold on to it until you find out the correct information. Another common correction is to split amounts to correct designations. Sometimes when a donation comes in, you may assign it to 1 staff member when in fact it was supposed to go to 2 or more, and so you need to correct those. Finally, you can change the donor or designation to correct ones. The reality is that sometimes we just enter the wrong information and need to correct it. Now, there are many other reasons why corrections can be made. These are just 4 of the most common. With a correction, it creates one batch with 2 items in it, that is, 2 rows for each row that is corrected. And you can also correct multiple donations in one batch, or correct an entire batch all at once. Here in DonorWise, I have a bank import that I did a couple of weeks ago, and I've explored it so that you can see it before I correct it. There's just 2 contributions in this batch. One is from a donor I did not recognize, and since I did not know who the donor was, I also probably did not know who the designation was. So I posted it to the unknown donor and the suspense designation. The second was a gift from Snow White that I assigned to the Enchanted Forest Summer Project, but both of these are incorrect. So again, I select the batch, then I come up here and press the reverse correct button. I am going to correct both of these rows at the same time. I press the reverse correct refund button and select correct items, because I am simply changing some information about the contributions. Now, the first row is the unknown donor, and so I'm going to make a memo that I correct donor ID, correct designation ID. I select the correct donor. And the correct designation. Now in this case, I want to correct designation amounts. This gift from Snow White was for 70 euros, but in fact, it was supposed to go to the participants individually. She wanted to give 10 to each of the participants individually. And notice as I'm going that DonorWise continues to give me a new line for each one until the total equals the amount of the donation. The donation is 70, the individual gifts are 10 each. And when I press enter, the batch is now in balance and I can mark complete. The batch then goes to the approve area for me to approve it. And then I can post it. The journal entry here is showing the suspense account has been debited 20 and credited to the correct staff member. Each of the dwarfs has had 10 euros credited to their staff account, and then 70 was taken out of the summer project, and then the adjustments to the assessments. And then also, let's take one look at Snow White. I can see this particular transaction. The original transaction was for 70 euros, the reversal was for 70, and then the posted correct transaction was with 10 euros to each of the dwarfs participants. Okay, that's how we do corrections.